What's up guys, in this video we're going to try to diagnose and correct a claw machine that's not working. So hopefully we can get it fixed. Make sure you guys watch all the way to the end of the video. Enjoy the show. What's up guys, Matt here with Galaxy Games 843, back with another Monday bonus video. In this video we're heading off to our flea market arcade location to diagnose and hopefully fix a claw machine that's having a problem there. So make sure you watch all the way to the end of the video so you can see what happens, but also at the end of the video, we're going to announce the winner of the Galaxy Games 843 t-shirt giveaway that we talked about 2 weeks ago in that Monday bonus video. So make sure you watch all the way to the end to see who wins the t-shirts, and of course make sure you watch all the way to the end to see if we can fix the claw machine. All right guys, let's go fix that claw machine. All right guys, so it all started last weekend. I was actually watching the security cameras for the flea market arcade location, and look what happened guys. So as you can see, we have some players here and they're going to play the hot stuff claw machine, and I'm watching, and I always like to check in and see how things are going at the flea market arcade, because I want to make sure that everything is cleaned up and everything's good. But watching them play this game, I'm noticing the claw is not closing. So they put their money in, they played the game, the claw went down, it didn't close or grab a prize, and then it didn't, obviously came back up and returned to home, but it never cloused. So I've dealt with this in the past with other claw machines, and typically you can usually find what the answer is in the actual manual. So let's take a look at the manual real quick here. And what we're going to look at here is there's a troubleshooting page in the manual. So taking a look at that, you can see there's different error numbers, and sometimes on the actual controls there'll be an error number flashing. If so, these are kind of the numbers that correspond with those errors. So you can see 01 would be an up-down motor, 02 would be a front-back motor, and so on and so forth. In this case though, we don't have an error number flashing. All we know is the claw is not functioning properly. So looking at this troubleshooting guide, we can see the claw no function here at the very bottom of the troubleshooting guide says to check the DC coil or the fuse. So what I did was I actually went to the flea market arcade location this past Sunday, and I checked the actual coil. I made sure there were no disconnections or broken wires. I made sure everything was good there. Everything seemed good. It ohmed out right with a multimeter. So everything looked good in the actual coil section, so I didn't think the problem was there. So I actually went and checked the fuse, and I used my digital multimeter on continuity and checked the fuse, and the fuse was good. So I still thought there was some sort of issue with the actual fuse. So what we did was we pulled the board out of the machine and brought it back here to the shop to do some tests. So let's go take a look and see what happened there. All right guys, so here we are. We've got the circuit board out of the claw machine, and we looked at the manual and it said with the claw not functioning, we want to check the DC coil, which we checked. Didn't see any issues with that, didn't see any wire frays or disconnected wires. The other thing it said to check was the fuse, and the fuse that we're going to look at that controls the claw is this fuse right in here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a fuse right here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to test that fuse. To do that, I'm going to take a digital multimeter here. I'm going to put it on diode test or continuity, and what I want to do is I want to have it with audible function. So I'm going to go to, which one is it? There's one. Okay, so it's on ohm settings, and the audible function is what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this fuse to make sure the fuse is good. So what it should happen is, if it's a good fuse, when I put these two leads on the ends, it should beep like this. Hear that beep? Okay. So when we're testing the fuse, it should beep if it's a good fuse. So yeah, the fuse is good. So let's do a visual inspection, because I've seen some crazy things, and honestly, when I'm looking at it, it looks like this fuse holder, look at this fuse holder. You see that? It's loose. Actually, the fuse holder is completely disconnected on the one side. So it looks like we must have had some cold solder joints. Let's look at this side. I don't know if you can see here. Where is the fuse holder on this side? It's going to be these two solder pads right here. So I don't know if you can see that. You can't tell from this side, but from this side, you can definitely see the holes in it, and the fuse totally fell out. So if this isn't making a good connection, that's definitely not going to get the power it needs through this fuse to our claw to close. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean out the old solder from these two holes. I'm gonna do it on the back side. And let's see, how do I want to set this up? I'll try and wedge this under here. So we keep that set up here. And the ones we want, we'll probably reflow the solder on this side too, but this is the bad side right here. This is the side right here that we need to remove the solder from. So let's do it. Let me make sure my camera's set up good here. Make sure you can see it good. And basically I've just got my soldering iron and I've got I'm gonna actually add some new solder first. Just like so. I'm gonna add new solder to all 4 of them. So that, solder fumes. All right, that one's reflowed. Now let's go to this one here. Okay, new solder on both of those. So we're gonna add new solder to the bad side too. And this will make it easier to remove the old solder while we're doing that. Okay, so new solder in all 4 pads, and we're only gonna remove 2. So I'm gonna use this bottle of water as kind of my solder discharge thing here. And what I'm gonna do, I've got a solder puller, a soda puller, whatever you want to call it here. And all I'm going to do, actually I'm going to switch hands because I'm much better at doing this with my right hand than being steady. All I'm going to do is remove the old solder bulbs here. And you might have to do it a couple times, and I might have to do it from the other side as well. You just gotta be careful. You don't want to heat that up too bad because you don't want to lift your trace also. All right, so let's do this side here. Looks like, yeah, about 2 is going to be the going rate to get all that old solder out. Okay. So let's take a look at this side here. Yeah, it's good and clear. Okay. So now, I know you can't see this very well, and this is just tough to work on because it's such a tight space in here because we've got a big capacitor right here that kind of hinders us from getting there. But now all I'm going to do is reinsert this fuse back into the fuse holder on the opposite side and make sure that these 2 pins go through these holes in the PCB. So let me get that lined up here, and this might take a minute because I said it's real tight. My fingers don't want to get in there very well, but there we go. All right, so nope, don't have it. Thought I had it. Lining everything up. Okay. All right, so I'm going to carefully flip it over. And I don't know if you can see, but the legs are just popping through right here. Let's see if that'll stay. Okay, good, that's going to stay put there. All right, so now what we're going to do is resolder those legs into those holes. Get a good camera angle for you. All right, here we go. Let's resolder the legs in. All right, so they're good on that side. Let's see how well it's holding on this side. So it feels pretty solid. So one thing I did notice is this side of the fuse hole, you see it's not tight. So I'm gonna tighten that up a little bit. So let me pop that fuse out. And all I'm gonna do is just kind of squeeze it together a little bit. Now let's see if it's any better. All right, so that should hold good now. Solder looks good. All is well there. Seems pretty good. All right, so I think this is gonna fix our problem, but the only way we're gonna know is by taking it back to the machine, reinstalling it, and making sure that it works. So let's go back to the location, we'll install this in the machine, and we'll see if that's gonna correct our problem. Hopefully it will, but you never know until you're at the location trying it out. So let's go on to that location and try it out. All right, guys, we've got the board installed back into the machine, as you can see, after our repair. So we're gonna power it up now, and we're gonna test it to see if that fixed our problem. So let's power it up here. Let's see if our problem is fixed. Now I need actually a couple quarters. Do I have any quarters on me? I think I've got a quarter. All right, good. Let's do a test here. All right, let's see if this works. Now we're looking for the claw to close. I'd say it works. So our test was successful. Look at that, guys. How cool is that? All right, good. So now I'm just gonna get this machine buttoned back up, and we'll go back to the shop and wrap this video up. All right, guys, so as you saw, we were able to get the claw machine working. Everything's good to go. It's back on location. We put the board back in the machine. It works. So successful repair, super awesome. We're really happy about that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. It really does help out the channel. But before we wrap the video up, we do need to give away that Galaxy Games 843 t-shirt. That one right there. So let's give one away. So here's what we're going to do. If you recall in our Monday bonus video 2 weeks ago, we showed you the Toy Taxi Claw Machine collection from the pizza restaurant location, and we censored out the actual totals. We had everyone guess guess the amounts in the comments. We had 2 people that were really close. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual footage. What we're going to do is we're going to see the coins being poured into the actual coin scale, and the quarters totaled out to be $141.25, so pretty good there. And then, of course, for the dollar bills, we had to run those through our dollar bill counter. We had to break it down into smaller stacks because it was such a big stack, which is a good problem to have, right? The total amount for dollars and fives was $248. So that means the total amount collected was $389.25. Now, a couple honorable mentions. We had Captain Namco guess $380. We had Black Girl guess $380. So good job, you guys. You guys are really good at counting money on screen. But there were 2 that were even closer. So the 2 that were even closer were Randy Straley with $383. Nice guess there. And then Timothy Northrup also guessed $383. So what do you guys think? Should we have a tiebreaker, or should we just give them both t-shirts? All right, here's what we're going to do. Randy, Timothy, email me at galaxygames843@gmail.com with your information. I'm going to send you both a t-shirt. Make sure you let me know the sizes, all that good stuff. I'm going to send one to both of you because, I mean, you guys were within just a few dollars away. I think it was like, you guys were like $6.25 off. Really good job. Funny that you guys both guessed $383. But hey, not too bad. Great job, guys. So Timothy, Randy, make sure you guys send me an email. Again, galaxygames843@gmail.com with your address, with your size, and we'll get a Galaxy Games 843 t-shirt out to you. All right. So very successful video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit different style of a bonus video. We were kind of a little bit all over the place, you know, at the flea market arcade location, at the shop, here in the studio. So again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, it really does help out the channel. But we're going to wrap this video up right here, guys. So once again, this is Matt with Galaxy Games 843. We'll see you next time.